So this is a do-over. I had sort of recorded the topic before, and then book reviews came, vacation. So decided to wait till the journey or the thing I wanted to talk about was more complete and much more solid before I talk about this. So the thing I learned this year, coming close to end of the year, is somewhere in the beginning of the year, maybe not Jan, maybe it was Feb, I don't remember. I started the whole notion about karma yoga. Karma yoga. Again, karma, most Westerners think it's the fate or the destiny, whatever. Now, karma is action. Yoga is union. Karma yoga means union with your action. And one of the things I've realized, one, because of Michael A. Singer's, not only the book, but also a lecture or training series he did, specifically Living the Life of Surrender, which is, I believe that's the title, where he goes through the whole thing about, from the universe to where you are, and how you act, and how you live a life of surrender. And that's what gets you to the heights that you don't even realize. Because if you read his story, his journey, he wasn't a, tech guy to a tech potential multi-millionaire, if not a billionaire. MD Live, I believe, eventually what it became, but medical transcription or something service he created to that, where he was this yogi wannabe to remodeler to this whole tech guy. And one of the big lessons there is we, or humans, resist where the universe is pointing them they belong to, or the work they are, they are most, I don't know, in union to do. Just be there, just do the things that are being presented because it's not an accident. When it feels right, right? Don't do things just because, it's been presented to you if it doesn't feel right. Anyway, that was the thing. So that was the first, started clicking to me. And then I haven't, so here's the funny part where I haven't read Bhagavad Gita before, which is essentially the old Sanatana Dharma or Hindu for Western, or most people know it as Hindu book. I've read actually the Bible more than that book, being born back in India. I read Bible more than that. I'm not a Christian. I never was a Christian. I'm really not much religious. I would say I'm more spiritual now, very reading all this book, especially understanding the Bible way more now. Apart from understanding Bhagavad Gita now and how much they are same, how much the Torah is same, how much perhaps Quran I haven't read. Here, I see good and bad things there, so I don't know what's true because it's all like people interpreting different things, right? Having not read it, and also even if you read it, it depends on who interpreted it or who translated it. So all that matters. So anyway, in that book, Bhagavad Gita, the big thing was karma yoga, where Krishna says to Arjuna, who is the one that is kind of trying to teach, kind of like Jesus teaching to his disciples, right? Versus this is a one-on-one coaching session, I guess, where he talks about the 4 different yogas, and one part of that is karma yoga. The whole point about that is be in union with your work. Just do for the sake of doing it, because that's what universe is calling. That's what you're destined to do. And many of us, including me, the biggest issue I had, or so far I had, was resisting whenever something pulls me. And one of the issues I think I have, and probably till recently I had, is that whole factor, oh, what if it's only temporary? Or what if it's not the real destiny? And I go on this journey and then I can't come back. And that is the issue, one of the issues. I believe, if not me, I'm sure many people have. is thinking everything is permanent. If you take this, you got to go on the journey till the end, always. But what I've realized is through Michael A. Singer's that whole thing, not only relationships, work, everything is a journey. There are things that are like constant journey. You keep going, 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 and some are there for a moment. They're not there for your lifetime. They serve a purpose. So that really kind of changed my whole thinking process about what karma yoga meant. So anyway, early in the year, I started practicing a little bit, on things I did, but nothing really. I mean, there were things that, like, I tried to truly fall in love with what I'm doing. It doesn't matter what I was doing. It was okay. I mean, it was working out, not great, but it wasn't bad. Like, it was a good experience. Fast forward, in around August this year, through business ventures I was trying to do on the side, full-time IT, one of the things I was struggling, I think, is now that I know, my first love is IT, technology. That's what it is. What I was struggling with is, as far as in technology, being hands-on coder, right? What I realize now is technology is my love, but how this, if I'm, the love I have is technology creating solutions. That's my love. Not like, hey, doing this piece of code or doing this piece of architecture and then seeing the results. That's instant gratification. That's one of the things I enjoy about technology is when you create a solution, something is working. It's amazing, great feeling, right? Anyway, by August, I was looking at some business ventures, trying to buy businesses or be involved in business acquisitions with someone else. And then I came across somebody, we met, we hit it off, and I was trying to recruit the person, but the person recruited me to someone had close relationship, and we met, and then everything kind of shifted. I've been obsessed with AI a little bit, how to like create solutions with AI. But working in the corporate world is completely different, especially the big corporations. Like you go to a big bank, big huge financial institution, they're so scared about AI stealing stuff, right? And there are legitimate reasons, sure. But the problem is and then also it's too much bureaucracy. There's too much red tape to implementing, experimenting, iterating fast. In the age of AI, that's what I discovered now. But anyway, long story short, decided to go on that venture of startup. And, my role originally was more help the CEO kind of organize things and create effective teams because that's kind of one of my strengths, I believe, in my business world and things I've done. Even in technology world, I've created effective teams when I had the chance, long term. So that's kind of how I ventured. But then, I saw the technology platform and the person leading the technology platform. I thought I could do better, and then I experimented a little bit with AI coding tools and saw how powerful they are, how wrong people are thinking. Not everybody. There's like, I think 5-10% of people, software engineering wise, kind of understand AI, how to use it. Not use it as a magic bullet to do everything, the vibe coding thing. But anyway, that started my journey. Sometime in, end of mid-September something, the CEO of the company and we decided like, okay, we need to shift, abandon the existing application. The company itself is in revenue, but the problem is the struggle to growth. Want to go fast. I read this book, Science of Scaling, and kind of push for that, like go grow, go faster. And that kind of got me into this obsession, and the union, karma yoga of AI and software engineering. So much so, since beginning of October till about a week ago, like beginning of December, I spent, I would say, average of 10 to 12 hours, if not 14 hours a day. I would say 12 hours, 10 to 12 hours would be, I would say, at least 10 hours a day, which is about close to 58 to 60 days almost, about 50 plus days, weekends including. Most of the days I barely slept 6 hours. Many times I slept 4 hours. I haven't done that since maybe 2015 when I was on a startup venture. Disaster. I didn't fit in. It was a wrong venture. Since then, I haven't done this like heavily. So it became a one-man crew. I created this whole AI software engineering team, all that stuff. But the important point is that that's a different topic. What I learned there is different. But what I learned about myself is strangely, like normally whenever I did something job wise, business wise, there was always this financial goal or an end goal that I was looking at. But what happened here was there was no end goal. There was just constant obsession of how to do better, or how to do this, how to figure out like a different way, how to, how can you best way to use AI to produce high quality software and finished product, enterprise level products. And that was my obsession. And then it was 24 by 7. I wasn't thinking about anything else. Even now, I don't think much about anything else. But it comes to it's pretty much has become my love. So much that this past weekend, when I took essentially the first time the break in the weekend, not do really much work, I felt a little bit of an emptiness that, wait a minute, I'm missing something. Kind of like when you're, I guess, in love and you're missing that person. That's how I felt. And that's kind of what I realize now what is karma yoga and falling in love with the work. And it's amazing that I've discovered this, so late, right, in my life. But that's the point. The point is you never know when you'll fall in love with work, but when you do, go full on. Don't worry about like the money or achieving this. If something calls you, totally fall in love and do it. I know it's easier said than done for many people because I've struggled with it myself. So I'm not going to, say, hey, it's easy. It's just the opportunity came, the company came and the CEO was very supportive. And on I went, and now this obsession of constantly experimenting is now even bigger. And I believe AI, the whole way software engineering world is going, I don't think even 95% still realize. Maybe 5-10% really understand what's going on. Everybody else is still stuck in their, oh, AI produces crap, or AI does this, doesn't do, but they're not seeing the golden opportunity to do things, massively that you couldn't imagine doing it even 2 years ago. Like even early this year, what it was versus now is completely dramatically different. Every month is different. Every week is different. Every day is different. And that's amazing. That's so freaking exciting to me. Anyway, again, understand, what I learned about AI, how much stuff I learned, how much, understanding I got on how to use, and, there's the nuances of proper AI usage in software engineering is is not a it's not a science. It's an art. It's right now kind of, I guess, vibe. Again, I hate vibe coding because that's total nonsense. Vibe, at least at this point, maybe a couple of iterations later, next models come, vibe coding becomes the thing. for an enterprise level. I don't know if it'll ever be. It's too much of moving parts in enterprise at this point. Maybe 2-3 years, AI becomes AGI, and then yeah, maybe it does that. But anyway, I'm deviating from the share I wanted to do. The basic point is karma yoga. Finally understand it. When you're in love with what you're doing, nothing else matters. Your obsession takes over. And now I understand some of the people, like this high performing athletes, high performing business owners who are obsessed with, always achieving something else, right? Because they're obsessed with their goals, obsession with their work, not worried about like essentially the money portion only or this goal only. Yes, there are people, but I think ultimately we all know in the end, it's who we become that really brings us joy, happiness, not what we make or get. So anyway, I hope that helps somebody who has resisted this whole pull to do something because of this whole notion that, okay, what if this is the wrong one? Look, even this journey, right? When I started it, I didn't even know if I was going to get paid at the end of the day, or there was going to be some kind of gold. No, all I was obsessed with AI, using it to create software, high-level software. And that's the obsession that I let it guide me, not what the end goal, like I make this money. It'll come. The money, whatever, will come. You never know. The problem is you never know how it's going to come. You can think of it, you can make plans for it, you can set goals. Everything is great, but you don't know. You just have to pivot based on that. So anyway, all right. I went longer than normal on any share. So I hope that helps somebody on their journey, find their passion, fall in love with the work, and become a karma yogi.